This right here is one of my favorite pistols. Why? Because it's so amazing. Now, if you guys don't believe me, watch this. I mean, I like the pistols, so maybe you guys will like the pistol. This right here is a CZ P-01 Omega, and this is the 1,000 plus, because I've shot more than 1,000 rounds through this gun, review of this pistol. So if you're thinking about getting one, watch it. Let me know what you think. I think they're fantastic pistols. Now, one thing that I love, just right, you know, when you pick one up and you feel it, I like how heavy they are. Maybe many of you guys will not, but this, and like many other pistols, not polymer framed, it's all steel and aluminum, so it's a heavier gun, which really helps with that recoil mitigation. So when you're firing that gun, it's gonna have less recoil, and you can use that to have essentially faster, more accurate follow-up shots. Now, let's show you how it's gonna shoot, and let's just shoot a few rounds out of this and show you that difference between this and maybe a Springfield XDM compact, how the recoil looks. So let's get started. So right here, it's 15 round magazine, and we're gonna see how she shoots. Can you guys see that? Sweet. So there you go, she's empty. That was that recoil, and as you can see, she shoots pretty nice. I really love this gun. So let's compare this to the Springfield XDM9. So here's that gun I was talking about. This is the Springfield XDM 9mm. It's a compact version. So this one is, you can see it's polymer framed. It's got the steel on the top though, but it's still a heavier gun than some of the others I've held, especially like Glocks, some of those lighter guns. This one's not bad by any means. It's honestly a great gun, but I do like that CZ P-01 more for a lot of different reasons. If you can look right here, that polymer, that grip, it's just plastic that's been cut into. So when I'm holding this versus when I'm holding that P-01, this just feels a little bit rougher in my hands, and I just feel like I can't grip it as well. So here we'll shoot this real quick to show you that difference in recoil, but here we go. So that's that Springfield XDM. That's that recoil on that one. I can show you a few more of that CZ P-01, but that's the difference right now. So as you can see with this pistol right here, if you look on the sides, you do have those rubber grips. So this one, I feel like I can just grab it. It's so much more meatier in my hands. It feels so much nicer. It doesn't feel as rough as some of those other guns I've held, like Glocks and that Springfield and other guns. Not saying that they're bad at any ways, but this one feels so much more comfortable in my hand. It's definitely a wider grip though. So if you can see that, it's definitely wider than some of those other guns. But if that's a real big problem for you, you can get aftermarket ones because they just detach right there. And you can put in a, you know, slimmer grip on them and still, or change out the grip texture even if you wanted to. If you've noticed, it does not have a safety on it. So if that's a deal breaker for you when buying a gun, just be aware. Now, this Omega, technically you can change out the decocker with a safety. I don't like to. I really do like that decocker. That decocker allows you, so if the hammer's cocked back and you have a round in the chamber, or if you don't, you can press this right here. That's on both sides. And that decocks that hammer safely, so that way you don't have to worry about the gun going off. And then from there, it just switches the action so you got double and single action. So that way, if you pull the trigger, you can see that hammer goes all the way back, and that's a harder trigger pull, versus if that hammer's all the way back, you can pull it. Let's just check if this is empty. Yep, you can pull it, and it's a lighter trigger pull. So in theory, if you were concealed carrying this, you have one round in the chamber, and it's decocked, you'd have that harder trigger pull when you first drew it out, but then after that, all your follow-up shots would be a lighter trigger pull, which in my opinion makes it way nicer because it's not the same, it's not, you know, a same hard trigger pull. It can be lighter safely. It can safely be lighter, but I don't know. Let's fire a few more rounds out of that because I really do like the feel of this, and we'll decock that first one so you can see that harder trigger pull. But Can you just see that? I can feel it. And you're like, of course I can. So there's that, there's that. See, just way nicer for those follow-up shots. It just feels so much better in my hands. It's like grabbing like a old splintery shovel versus a brand new shovel, I feel like. So I'll just fire the rest of these. I didn't load up a full mag. And there you go. There you have it. That is the CZ P-01, technically the Omega version. Now, a little bit about this gun. This was developed by the CZ. They're a company that started off in the Czech Republic. Now, they've expanded quite a bit since then. They own Colt now, and they also own Dan Wesson. So if you know either of those companies in America, they're pretty big. Oh, can I do that? Sorry, I totally got distracted. Anyways, they make a lot of guns. They're a great company. I have no complaints about their guns. If you've heard of them at all, you know that they make great rimfire rounds. They like the CZ4, sorry, not great rimfire rounds. They make great rimfire guns like the CZ457, which I do have one of those as well. I'm not showing it in this video. But their pistols and their rimfires are amazing. If you're looking for a nice centerfire, they do make good centerfire rifles too. But some other brand like Tika, Hawa, or what, Seiko? Is that the other brand? I'm trying to think of that. Anyways, that Finnish brand, they also make just as great rifles, centerfire rifles, if not better centerfire rifles. So I'd go with one of those if you're looking for a centerfire rifle. But I digress. Back on the CZ P-01. This pistol passed NATO standards. So the NATO took it, it ran through all the standards, and so it's officially, technically, according to NATO, it's battle service ready. And from what I understand, it has seen combat use. It's carried by a lot of police officers and military forces around the world. Though I think because it's an older gun, it's an older style, there is a lot more new favorable guns that are chosen out there. But I don't think you can go wrong with getting one of these. And I've changed this and done some things to it to fit myself personally, because I am left-handed, and as you can see, I swapped that. It does not have an ambidextrous mag release. And then I changed out the tension of that mag spring, and I've done a little bit of work on that, but that's just my own personal gun choice. But great gun. I would highly recommend it for anyone who's looking to buy a gun, because in this price range, when I bought it, I think it was about $550. Plus or minus 50 bucks probably. I don't think you can get a better gun than this in that price range. If you're, wealthy and you're not caring about money, you can go get something nicer. You get a CZ Shadow 2, you can go get a 2011, you can go choose almost any type of gun. But if you're looking to spend, 600 bucks on a firearm, or you're looking to get the best firearm you can, I'd highly recommend the CZ P-01. My only complaint about this, is that the CZ P-01, I feel like, is a little bit of a bigger gun, which isn't bad, but for concealed carrying, I don't concealed carry this. I'd love to, but I feel like it's just harder because it's a bigger gun. It's not as comfortable, and so I've actually switched to, a Smith & Wesson M&P, an M&P CSX, just because I feel like it's a smaller gun I can carry a little bit better and easier. But that's the only problem I see with this P-01. Other than that, they're fantastic guns. Absolutely love them. Let me know what you think. If you guys have one, if you've shot them, what's your favorite thing about them? Anyways, I hope you guys get one, because I honestly think best handgun out there for under $1,000 bucks.